I'm Ankita Robin and welcome to SG Global News. From the appointment of Maronite Christian Joseph Aoun as Lebanon's 14th president to the mighty procession of the Black Nazarene that swelled the streets of Philippines, we have many stories to cover. Joseph Aoun, the current chief of the Lebanese army, was appointed president by the country's House of Representatives on Thursday. Aoun, who comes from a Maronite Christian background, secured the presidency after the Hezbollah-backed candidate withdrew from the race at the last moment.
On Thursday, Lebanon's House of Representatives elected Army Chief Joseph Aoun as the country's new president. Aoun, who is of Maronite Christian background, is currently serving as the army chief. He is known for leading the army in its campaign against Hezbollah and for playing a key role in brokering a peace deal between Israel and Hezbollah in November. Aoun, who enjoys the support of the country's ruling AISM movement, was officially declared president after the Hezbollah-backed candidate withdrew from the race and endorsed him. The presidency, which is reserved for members of the Maronite community, had been vacant since Michel Aoun's term ended in October 2022. This outcome reflects a shift in the country's power balance as Hezbollah's influence has declined amidst Lebanon's ongoing economic crisis. The result also signals a revival of American influence, as Joseph Aoun is known for maintaining amicable ties with the U.S. Armed Forces during his tenure as Army Chief.
The Republican-majority House of Representatives passed the Laken-Riley bill, fulfilling its promise to combat illegal immigration. The bill, named in honor of a nursing student tragically murdered by an undocumented worker, empowers law enforcement agencies, including ICE and Homeland Security, to detain illegal immigrants previously convicted of offenses committed after their arrival in the United States. As a step taken to fulfill promises made during the campaign period, the Republican-majority House of Representatives passed significant legislation that would alter the border policy followed by the Biden administration. The Laken-Riley Act, passed in the House, honors the life of Laken Riley, a 22-year-old nursing student who was murdered while jogging around the University of Georgia campus. Jose Ibarra, a 22-year-old illegal migrant from Venezuela, was convicted of Riley's murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. Immigration and Customs Enforcement confirmed Ibarra was guilty of various non-violent offenses but was not detained due to the Biden administration's catch-and-release policy, which releases illegal immigrants who cross the Mexican-American border instead of detaining them. The Laken-Riley Act, passed by the 119th Congress, requires immigration authorities to detain illegal immigrants found guilty of certain non-violent crimes, such as theft. It also allows states to sue the Department of Homeland Security for harm caused to their citizens due to illegal immigration. The legislation passed with a 265-159 vote, with 48 Democrats joining all Republicans in support. LA Archbishop Jose H. Gomez will offer a special Mass on January 10th for the victims of the Southern California wildfires and the first responders. At least 10 deaths have been reported in the wildfires currently raging across the state. In a gesture of solidarity and deep concern, Archbishop Jose H. Gomez will offer a special Mass on January 10th for the victims of the Southern California fires and first responders. Auxiliary Bishop Albert Bahut of San Fernando Pastoral Region will join Archbishop Gomez to celebrate Holy Mass at the Incarnation Catholic Church in Glendale at 5:30 p.m. Yesterday, 2 masses were offered at the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Angels in Los Angeles and Mission San Gabriel Archangel in San Gabriel. Bishop Matthew Elshoff and Bishop Brian Nunes concelebrated these masses with Archbishop Gomez. In his homily, the Archbishop said that although we don't know why natural disasters happen, we do know that the Father holds the world and each of our lives in His loving hands, and that everything He does out of love for us and our salvation. Archbishop Gomez urged everyone to be God's instruments in this time of disaster to bring comfort and help to others. At least 10 fire-related deaths have been reported in LA County as of Thursday. Wildfires are raging at 5 locations and satellite images show near-complete destruction of the Pacific Palisades region. The oldest Catholic priest in China, Father Joseph Guo Fude, passed away on December 30th. He was one of the few remaining priests ordained before the formation of the People's Republic of China. During his 78 years as a priest, he spent 25 years in prison for refusing to bow down to the communist regime. Father Joseph Guo Fude SVD, China's oldest priest, passed away in Jining, Shandong Province on December 30, 2024. He was just 2 months shy of celebrating his 105th birthday. Born on February 1, 1920, Father Joseph Guo was among the few priests ordained before the establishment of the People's Republic of China. After his ordination in 1947, he was sent to Manila to further his studies at the Verbite Seminary. However, in 1950, Father Guo returned to China to serve his people during the challenging years of the communist regime. In his memoirs, published a few years ago, Father Joseph Guo revealed that he refused to report on fellow clergy members or cooperate with the authorities, a decision that led to his arrest on 3 separate occasions. He spent a total of 25 years in detention. According to sgnews, he was only able to resume his pastoral ministry in the late 1980s. His ministry included teaching at the seminary in Jining and serving the local Catholic community. On his 100th birthday, Father Guo reflected on his life and told that his time in prison allowed him to deepen his faith, pray, and grow spiritually. He stated, quote, "My imprisonment gave me the strength to face life's challenges and continue to serve God, knowing that every trial was part of His divine plan. My experience in prison taught me that earthly riches are fleeting, while faith in God is the only true wealth." End quote. During his funeral, Monsignor John Lu Payson, the Bishop of Yangzhou, described Father Guo as a man who dedicated his entire life to selflessness and love. He used his life as a pen and time as ink to write a beautiful story of devotion, the bishop remarked. Father Joseph Guo Fude's extraordinary life of faith and resilience remains an inspiration to many in China and beyond. Today marks the 2nd anniversary of the death of Cardinal George Pell, a prominent prelate of the Catholic Church. He passed away at the age of 81 from cardiac arrest in Vatican City on January 10, 2023. Cardinal Pell was instrumental in bringing the 2008 World Youth Day to Sydney and in increasing vocations in his diocese.
St. Mary's Cathedral in Sydney, Australia commemorated the 2nd death anniversary of George Cardinal Pell on January 10th. Masses were offered for the repose of the Cardinal's soul. Pell was born on 8 June 1941 in Ballarat, Victoria, after his ordination to the priesthood at St. Peter's Basilica in 1966 and completing a doctorate in church history at Oxford. He served as a country curate, a Catholic university leader, a seminary rector, the Archbishop of Melbourne and the Archbishop of Sydney. Made a cardinal by Pope John Paul II in 2003, he was chosen by Pope Francis as the prefect for the new Secretariat for the Economy in 2014. After being falsely accused of indifference to clerical sex abuse and of committing it himself, he suffered 404 days in solitary confinement for a crime he did not commit. In April 2020, Australia's High Court announced their unanimous decision to overturn the guilty verdict upheld by Victoria's Court of Appeal and acquitted him. Cardinal Pell passed away at the age of 81 in Vatican City due to cardiac arrest following hip surgery. Cardinal Pell was instrumental in bringing the 2008 World Youth Day to Sydney, which was attended by 500,000 young people from 200 countries. As a shepherd, one of his many achievements was a significant increase in the number of seminarians and students in Catholic universities.
Over 2 million Filipino Catholics participated in the procession for the Feast of Jesus Nazareno on Thursday, January 9th. This feast falls on the octave day of the traditional feast of the Most Holy Name of Jesus. The procession, which annually attracts thousands of devotees, is one of the largest religious gatherings in the world. In 2022, the Philippine bishops officially designated it as a national liturgical feast day. Hundreds of thousands of Filipino Catholics swarmed the streets of Manila to accompany the Nuestro Padre Jesus Nazareno, popularly known as the Black Nazarene, for the Feast of Jesus Nazareno on Thursday. The Black Nazarene is a life-sized dark statue of Jesus Christ carrying the cross. It was brought to the Philippines in 1606 by Augustinian Recollect missionaries. Carved by an unknown Mexican artist, the statue was initially housed in the Recollect Church of St. John the Baptist in Bagumbayan and later transferred to the San Nicolas de Tolentino Church in Intramuros. As devotion to the Black Nazarene grew, Archbishop Basilio Sancho de Santa Justa y Rufina ordered the transfer of the statue to Quiapo Church during his tenure between 1767 and 1787. Today, the image is enshrined in the Minor Basilica and National Shrine of Jesus Nazareno in Quiapo, Manila. Every year, on January 9th, the Feast of Jesus Nazareno draws Filipinos from across the country to Manila for the Traslacion procession. This event retraces the transfer of the Black Nazarene from Bagumbayan to Intramuros and finally to Quiapo. Begun in its current form in 2006 under the pastoral leadership of Monsignor Josefino Ramirez, the procession annually attracts one of the largest crowds in the world for a religious devotion. In 2022, the Philippine bishops elevated the feast of Jesus Nazareno to the status of a national liturgical feast day. This year's Traslacion procession was attended by hundreds of thousands of pilgrims, with the crowd swelling to more than 2 million at one point, according to police estimates. A particularly moving moment of the procession is the Dungaw, the meeting between the statue of the Black Nazarene carrying the cross and the image of the Blessed Virgin Mary at the San Nicolas de Tolentino Church. This year's Dungaw occurred at around 5:45 p.m. with the crowd shouting Viva Nazareno in devotion. The Philippines is often regarded as one of the most Catholic countries in the world, with over 80% of its citizens identifying as Roman Catholics. Filipinos are well known for their deep devotional fervor, elaborate expressions of faith, and a culture deeply rooted in Catholic practices. That's all for today. Until we meet again, God bless and thank you.